Okay, so I just shot a short documentary the other day. It's about 3 minutes. If you want to watch it up here, take a look. But basically, this idea came to me about 2 hours before the event that I was actually making the documentary about. And I really just want to emphasize this video on the idea that you can make a documentary about literally anything as long as you have an idea and some footage and a good edit. Like, you can do it about literally anything, and I think that's really cool, and it's a good practice just to take a random event that people are doing and practice turning it into a short little documentary. So here's how I did it. I think the first thing to keep in mind is that you don't need a really advanced camera setup to shoot documentaries. For example, the short little thing I did was literally just my Sony a7S III with a Sigma 24 to 70mm lens on it and a Rode Video Micro microphone on top, and that was everything that I had to shoot all of the shots. So no tripod, everything handheld, no external mics, just the top mic. And even with such a simple setup, you're still able to tell really powerful stories, and I think that's a great thing that people don't often realize. The second important aspect about making a documentary on literally anything is just capturing the footage you need, which is a bit vague, but that just basically means going around and getting all the different aspects that might be important. So for me personally, there are 3 important types of visual content to get for a short little documentary. The first is B-roll. This is just capturing all the footage of the actual events, just making sure you can visually interact with the scenes and show people what's going on. So for this specific short documentary, examples of this would be like people playing pool or musicians performing, just things that visually tell the story and showcase what's going on. The second important visual thing, which is also partially audio, is an interview. And these can be super simplistic, as you see in this short documentary I made. It's literally just people standing against a wall, me holding the camera. It's not even on a tripod, and the microphone is literally just what's on top of the camera. So I'm just close to them to get as good of audio as possible, but that's literally it.
Broth parties, I argue, started about 200,000 years ago at the dawn of man.
It's not a complicated setup with lighting or anything. It's just as simple as an interview gets, just someone telling you information that's important to the story. And that's just good to have to lace within the actual edit of the story, just to tell what you want to tell. And then the third type of visual media I think you need for a short documentary is a scene. And this might sound a little bit confusing because you're like, there are many scenes in my documentary. But basically what I mean by this is just capturing a real life moment on camera with audio. So whatever's going on, it's not staged, you're just capturing a moment in time. And this really helps to bring your audience into that scene and make it feel like they are there in the moment, experiencing what it's like to actually be there. The idea of a scene can include people talking directly to the camera.
I'm gonna run you through our broth program. So right here we got miso. If you want to take a look, this is all homemade miso.
Or can just be footage of the general area and feeling of the scene with the actual audio from that location.
Thinking that kind of corner, whatever you guys.
But that's about it for capturing visual content for an actual documentary. It's quite simple, and you can literally do it on any different situation. Just show up with the camera and start capturing, ask a few people questions, and just film what's going on, film the most important details. And when you get into editing, you can pretty much turn anything like that, if you have enough footage, into something relatively meaningful. And that brings us to by far the most important part of the process, which is editing. Without a good edit, a short documentary really is nothing. So you really just want to consolidate all of that footage you captured into preferably a very short film, like 3 to 5 minutes. The shorter you can make it, the more precise and interesting it will be for an actual audience. If you make the film short and fast paced, people are much more likely to actually pay attention and watch. So that's my number 1 tip there. But from there, it's really just up to creativity in the editing process. Something I like to do is start with a little hook, start with a little tagline, maybe what the project's about, do a little montage.
So the broth party is a community celebration.
And then jump into more of maybe the history of the event or project that you're focusing on.
Last year, it was a hit. We had a lot of people. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot new and exciting this year. This year we have live bands.
And then dive a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper into the overall process, and then just end with something that's either fun, upbeat, interesting, inspiring. I mean, the main goal overall is just to keep people engaged throughout the film. So if you have a beginning, middle, and end of sorts, it can vary, of course, but just having that structure really helps to make it more engaging. The idea for the documentary I just made was created about 2 hours before I actually shot the project. So that's really how spontaneous you can be. And if you just capture the right things in the moment, moment and just get lots of coverage and lots of interviews and things like that. You can piece it together in the edit and make a good film. But really just the act of going to an event with a camera and a microphone and trying to shoot it and make a documentary out of it is such good practice for just learning the structure and the techniques that you need to have, so that when you go to a more professional documentary project that you're actually getting paid for perhaps, you know how to be quick and efficient and capture all of the media that you need to, and how to edit it into a project with a beginning, middle, and end. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe down below, and I will see you all next time.